Hello, my name is Dr. Fraser Hale, and I'd like to take you on a tour of the Healthy Mouth product lineup. It's quite an extensive lineup of products with 44 different products, each with the Veterinary Oral Health Council seal of acceptance. We'll start at the beginning, which is the dog water additive concentrate. It comes in three sizes, 8 ounce, 16 ounce, and 36 ounce. And now I'm going to go to metric because I'm Canadian. The 8 ounce jug mixes up to 47 liters of water. The 16 ounce gives us 97 liters of water, and the 36 ounce gives us 213 liters of treated water. This was the first product introduced, the first product developed, and it was designed and intended initially for Karen Albert's own dog, Ping Pong. I'm just getting a good close-up shot there of the label. And it was introduced back in 2008. And the way it's used, and this is by far the easiest of the products to use, the water additive concentrate. We have a solution in here that has sediment in it. So to use this product, we want to start off by giving it a jolly good shake. And then each jug is supplied with a pipette to allow the owners to cleanly and efficiently measure out 5 milliliters of the concentrate to mix in a liter of water. That's basically a teaspoon to a quart of water. And the resultant solution will look something like this. It will be green in color, and there will be sediment in the product, so we can see the sediment that's settled out in the bottom of the jug. So when the owners mix this up and they put it into their animal's water bowl, there will be sediment in the bowl. And I always like to keep this bottle of mixed up product so that I can show clients who are taking the product home for the first time what color it's going to be and that there is sediment in it. And I think it's very important that they have that forewarning, because otherwise they're inclined to think that the sediment is something growing in the product and that the product has gone off. So by letting them know that up front, it avoids any confusion about that. Now, if the animal should shed into the water bowl and the fur fibers fall to the bottom, sometimes the sediment particles cling to the fur fibers, and now it really looks like algae growing in the bowl. But truly, it's just the sediment that belongs there, just like pulp belongs in your orange juice. So after introducing the dog water additive, Karen was getting comments from cat owners saying, what a great idea, we'd love to have a product for our cats. And the real answer is that it's quite fine for cats to drink this product, even though it says dog. There's absolutely no reason that cats cannot drink the dog water additive. But cat owners, being particular, wanted a product that was specific for cats. So bowing to that market pressure, Karen then developed the cat water additive. And the only difference between the dog water additive and the cat water additive is that when you read the fine print of the ingredient panel on the back, which you probably can't pick up on camera, the cat water additive has a little bit of taurine added to it, as well as a little salmon oil from certified mercury-free Norwegian salmon. So we have a source of omega-3s. Now, some dogs love salmon and some cats don't. So the fact that one is labeled dog and one is labeled cat, I want you to largely ignore that. It's quite arbitrary. If you have a cat that does not like salmon, they drink the dog water. And if you have a dog that loves salmon, they can have the cat water. And if you have a household where there's cats and dogs, I always suggest that we cater to the fussiest animal in the house. Do they like salmon or not? If they do, they get the cat water. If they don't like salmon, they get the dog water. The good news, and this goes for all of the products in the lineup, is they all have a 100% palatability guarantee, so that if you send a jug home with the owner and the animals, even after going through the various steps to gradually transition them to the treated water, if they simply will not accept it, the client can return the product to you and get a full refund from you, and the next time you place an order, you will have that returned product replaced. Don't send anything back to the company, and just keep it for your own pets if you wish. There's nothing to be gained in returning it to the company. That just incurs further shipping charges. So, as I say, we started off with the dog water additive. Soon after that, the cat water additive was introduced. Now, the product was originally intended or designed and developed to help Karen's own dog, Ping Pong. And as Ping Pong was getting on in years, she started to develop some mobility issues. And Karen wanted to be able to give Ping Pong something to help keep her mobility, to improve her joint health and so forth. But she didn't want to go with the usual non-steroidal anti-inflammatories or glucosamine or chondroitin, things that were already on the market. She wanted something unique and something a little different. So after some research, she hit upon the idea of taking the dog water additive and adding to it some boswellia and some turmeric and a little oil of pepper, which helps with the absorption of the turmeric. Now, boswellia and turmeric are long-standing traditional medicines from the East that have many anti-inflammatory properties. And I've been seeing lots of things on Facebook in particular about the benefits of turmeric. So as is always the case with any product that Karen brings to market, she needed to have research to show that it actually did something of value. Although this particular label doesn't show it, it absolutely does have the Veterinary Oral Health Council seal of acceptance, so it did go through a clinical trial for plaque control. But then she also had a clinical trial done to document the mobility benefits. And this was another blinded study based on, in this instance, somewhat harder to quantify, but it was based on owners' perceptions. But they didn't know whether they were getting the actual product or the placebo product. And the study, which is available on our website, shows that using Healthy Mouth and Mobility resulted in a 34% improvement in mobility. It's based on the dog water additive formula, so it doesn't have the taurine or the salmon oil that the cat does. The research, both the plaque control and the mobility, was done in dogs, but there's really no reason why cats couldn't benefit from this as well. Not every animal drinks from a controlled water source. The water additives are absolutely by far the easiest product to use, in that you mix a little bit of the concentrate with water, put it in the drinking bowl, the animal does the rest. But there are some animals that will only drink from a running tap, or only drink from the toilet bowl, or maybe live on a farm and will drink from the creek or the water trough, the horse's water trough, or whatever. Or animals that are on a on a wet food diet and don't drink much water from their bowl anyway. So if we have a situation where the water additive concentrate isn't going to work, that it just doesn't fit into the household, we'd have some other options that have been introduced. The next one that came along was, in fact, a topical gel in both dog and cat. So it starts with the same basic formulas as the dog water additive and the cat water additive. A little bit thicker, so more xanthan gum to make it a bit thicker. It also does have a little bit of sorbitol and a little bit of sodium bicarb. I'm going to open this one up so you can see it's got the same green color, and it's quite thick. And the idea with this is, if we have an animal that will allow their owners to handle the mouth a little bit, at the end of the day, disposable cotton swab, you just dip that in and then wipe that along the gum line, like so, and then throw that away and get another one. You don't want to double dip because you don't want to contaminate the jug or the pot, and just wipe that on to the teeth at the gum line at the end of the day. And that can be for animals that maybe have already had some dental treatment in the past. Their mouths are getting more comfortable, they're getting more at ease with the notion of their animals, or with their owners handling their mouths, and so now the owners can get in and apply the topical gel just passively like that. Next product in the line was the topical sprays. Now, these bottles actually look like a squirt bottle rather than a spray bottle. The original clinical trials were done with a spritzer bottle, but we found that the sediment was inclined to clog the sprays, so they've been repackaged in these bottles with a squirt tip. And it's the same sort of idea, that at the end of the day, after last meal and last drink just before bed, the owner takes the tip of this bottle and introduces it underneath the lip, sort of tipping the head up, and just squirts a line of the liquid along the gum line, and then just leaves it there. The topical spray can be used in a number of different ways, or to put it differently, there are a number of times when the topical spray might be the good choice. Say, for example, we have a household where there's one small dog with a lot of periodontal concerns, and we absolutely want them to be getting the benefit of Healthy Mouth, but they also have 3 large, thirsty labs who have excellent oral hygiene and don't necessarily need to be on the product right away. Treating all of the water that all 4 animals are going to be drinking in order to get the product into that one small animal may just be a little cost prohibitive. So by using the topical spray or the topical gel, that allows the owners to target that specific animal as opposed to treating the whole herd for the benefit of one. Another circumstance is if we, again, a large dog who maybe drinks a lot of water, when we're looking at the water additive at 5 milliliters per liter, if that large dog drinks 4 liters of water a day, well, that's 20 milliliters of concentrate you're going through in a day. It may be more cost effective to use the topical spray because you may only be applying 2 or 3 milliliters, maybe up to 4 per day. So when we have a situation where maybe the animal isn't drinking out of a controlled water source, or we only want to be focusing on one animal in the whole crowd, or if we have big dogs that would go through large quantities of water and it just gets a little impractical to go with the water additive concentrate, that's where the topical spray can come into play. Now, I'm just going to go to the computer screen here. We've got a chart that shows the results of the clinical trials. For the dog water additive, which was the first product in the line, we have two, oh darn, let's just go back. This touch screen is very sensitive. We have 2 clinical trials for the dog water additive initially, and 2 clinical trials for the cat water additive, and then the other trials are just 1 trial each for each of the product extensions. But we can see here that the amount of plaque reduction relative to control in these 9 clinical trials shows really quite dramatic and remarkable results, well in excess of what the Veterinary Oral Health Council requires. The Veterinary Oral Health Council only requires a 20% plaque reduction, and you can see we go from a low of about 60% up to into the high 80s. After the water additives, topical gel, topical spray were on the market, we were still finding that there were some animals that just weren't finding a way to be treated because the owners wanted a water additive concentrate, but their animals were fussy about the water in their bowl and they weren't accepting of either of the formulas. Now, the dog water additive, it doesn't have any flavoring ingredients added to it. All of the ingredients are there for plaque control reasons, not for flavor. So the main flavor that you would get from it is a bit of a cinnamon note, but it's very, very subtle. Dogs and cats are very sensitive to smell and to taste, and some don't like the cinnamon or the salmon oil. So in order to help those fussy animals benefit from the Healthy Mouth products, Karen introduced a line of flavored products. Now they all have natural flavor, there's not artificial flavoring at all. And so we now at the moment have 9 flavors, and I'll go through the ones that we have. This may be fluid over time, these flavors may change a bit, but at the moment in the cat lineup we have chicken broth and tuna. And for dogs we have cinnamon bun, peanut butter, pumpkin spice, blueberry, cranberry, mixed berry, and peach. Now Karen says her 4 little dogs, they really love the blueberry, that's their favorite. Lots of dogs love peanut butter, but just a caution, this does have real peanut butter in it. So if there's someone in the household that has a nut allergy, you can't send home the peanut butter flavored water additive because it actually has peanut in it. But by having these 9 different flavor options, and again, the fact that this chicken says cat, you can ignore that. If you've got a dog that likes chicken broth, you can absolutely give the dog the chicken flavored water additive. If you have a cat that really likes pumpkin, then you can give the cat this dog pumpkin flavored water additive. So ignore the species designation and go with the flavor that is most likely going to satisfy the palate of your fussy patients. And keeping in mind, as always, the 100% palatability guarantee. If you send one of these home and the animal just won't drink it, then the owner gets their money back and you get a replacement with your next order. So that gives us a water additive concentrate in a variety of flavors and formulations, completely hands-free. You just mix it in the water, the animal does the rest. For owners who want to be more interactive in the mouth, want to be doing more, and for animals who will allow it, we have the topical gel, which just is applied with the cotton swab or the topical spray. But Karen wasn't ready to rest on her laurels at that point. The next notion was, well, what if we took the topical gel and used it with a toothbrush? Now, there are a great many of toothbrush or toothpastes and tooth gels on the market. Something I have asked for but have never seen is research to show that brushing with a product is any more beneficial than just brushing. We know that brushing their teeth is helpful in plaque control. But what I want to know is, if I put a product on the brush, do I get any added benefit? And until very recently, no companies had ever provided me with the research to show that brushing with their product added any benefit. Well, in the fall of 2014, there was an article published in the Journal of Veterinary Dentistry which outlined a clinical trial done specifically to answer that question. And what was done is we had a trial in large and medium-sized dogs, another trial in small dogs, and a third trial in cats, and 15 animals in each group. And in each of the 3 trials, there were 3 groups. The negative control group had no plaque control during the course of the trial. The positive control group had their teeth brushed every day with a placebo gel, and the test group had their teeth brushed with the actual product. The brushers, the evaluators, everybody involved were blinded to which treatment the animal was getting. They all started the procedure, or they started the trial having their teeth cleaned, so they went into the trial at the beginning with a clean mouth and 0 plaque scores. And then after 28 days of either having no plaque control or having their teeth brushed with a placebo or brushed with the product, their plaque scores and gingivitis scores were reevaluated. And if we come back to the screen, we can see the results of this trial showing that the amount of plaque after 29 days without brushing is 14. The score was 14 for these large and medium dogs. The placebo group, so they were getting their teeth brushed every day with the placebo gel, their plaque score is definitely lower, but when they were being brushed with the actual Healthy Mouth brushing gel, you can see that the plaque score drops off even much more dramatically. Similarly with the small dogs, with no home care, with placebo gel, and with the actual Healthy Mouth gel. And then in cats, again, very much the same thing. So we're seeing that, yes, absolutely, brushing the teeth is a benefit. Put Healthy Mouth gel on the toothbrush, and the benefit is much more dramatic. And then over here, the gingivitis scores for each of the trials at day 0 and then a month later. With each of them, they all entered with a similar amount of gingivitis, and then after 29 days with no brushing, they still had about as much gingivitis. With brushing, their gingivitis score was less than preoperatively, but brushing with the gel, even more benefit. And again, with the small dogs and down here with the cats. So this is the first time we've seen a product with solid research to show that putting the gel on the brush makes the brush a much more effective tool. The gel is packaged in 2 sizes. The small kit has 6 syringes, each with 15 milliliters, so you get 90 mils of gel in the small kit, and the large kit has 6 syringes with 30 mils, so 180 milliliters in total. Why so much? Well, home plaque control is for life. So the idea is to put together a kit that is going to last the animal for months and months post-operatively, to get the owner firmly established in the habit and to reinforce that message that this is for life. There's no sense in sending home a 1-month supply, because then they have to keep coming back month after month to get it, and they're going to forget. They're going to stop coming back to get the gel, and by the time a year has rolled around, they're no longer brushing properly. So we want to send home a large supply, make sure that they've made the commitment, and again with the palatability guarantee, if the animal won't tolerate it, the owners can get their money back. So there's no risk to them, and there's no risk to you. One thing about these syringes, they have a dial-a-dose, and it always starts up at the top, so you've got to make sure that you dial it down to the beginning. And the idea there is just so that when the owner is squirting the gel out onto the brush, they don't over-squirt and waste it. It doesn't take a lot, just about a pea-sized dollop of gel on the toothpaste, and then brush as they normally would. The kits also come with fairly extensive explanation of how to go about training the animal to enjoy having its teeth brushed, so lots of pictures showing this being done in actual pet animals owned by the models that are in these brochures. The gels also come in a starter kit and a refill kit. Now here, this is a photograph of the starter kit, and it includes the 6 syringes as well as a little practice syringe full of about 5 milliliters of gel, 2 toothbrushes, and a little holding pod that includes an egg timer to help people keep on track as far as how long they should be brushing their pet's teeth. The refill kits just come with 1 toothbrush and 6 syringes. So you would think at that point that Karen would say, there, I've got it covered. We've got a water additive concentrate, we've got passive gels, brushing gels, a topical spray. But still she's thinking there are some owners that really want to use a topical wipe. And so that's the latest product in the lineup. Now these, well, I should mention also that the brushing gels come in the same flavors to a large degree as all of the water additive concentrates. So peanut butter and blueberry and pumpkin spice and chicken and so forth. And again, the flavors may change somewhat over time as sales records indicate which flavors are the most popular. Karen's also played with some flavors of beef and bacon, and so there could be other flavors coming along in time. The topical wipes, these ones we're just showing the dog and the cat, but they're also going to be available in a variety of flavors. We have 2 sizes. This is intended to be a travel size. It would come with 10 wipes, whereas the home kit would come with 76 wipes. Initially, you get this airtight dispensing package or box with a little pop-up so you can pull the one wipe out at a time, and then the refill would just have a foil packet with the wipes in it that you could then open up the foil packet and put the wipes into the dispenser. So again, there's initially a starter kit, and then there's the refill kit. And I'll just take one of these wipes out and show them to you. Actually, I'm going to cheat and go this way. It's quite a large wipe. So for a small animal, you could quite likely economize a bit by cutting the wipe in half. This is actually folded over, so let's see if I can get this opened up. There we go. So that's how large the wipes are. And once you've got the kit primed, it'll just pull right out. So as I said, if you've got a small dog or a cat with a small mouth, you could probably cut this in half and use half a wipe at a time. But the idea is that the owner will wrap that around their finger and just slip that inside their animal's mouth and just wipe it along the teeth at the gum line on both sides, like so. And then, of course, throw the wipe away. And as is always the case with Karen, clinical trials. So here we have the results of the topical wipes trial in dogs and in cats. These are animals that had their teeth wiped on a daily basis throughout the time of the trial with a placebo wipe. So it was the same structure, the same physical characteristics of the wipe, it just didn't have healthy mouth added to it. And you can see that wiping with the untreated wipes certainly gave some plaque reduction. In fact, enough to get VOHC seal of acceptance just for the naked wipe. But when she adds the healthy mouth concentrate to the wipes, we can see that the plaque reduction is dramatically more significant. Just further proof that the healthy mouth formula is extremely effective in helping to control plaque. So that's the lineup as it stands. Water additive concentrate as the first choice. It's often a good place to start for an owner who's never been involved in home care, or for a pet who's maybe had dental disease for years and is sensitive about having their mouth or face handled. They're a little bit head shy. Once that's working well, if the owners want to be more into the mouth, more involved in the daily home care, and the animal's getting more comfortable about allowing people to handle their mouth, then you can move on to the topical gel or the topical spray, then on to the toothbrush with the gel. For owners that can't get all the way to using the toothbrush but still can get into the mouth with something wrapped around the finger, also the topical wipes. So with all those options as far as delivery systems and all of those flavors to choose from, there really ought to be a healthy mouth solution for each and every one of your pets, each and every one of your patients. Thank you.